y'all. Once again, it's Thursday night. Scandal review is uploading, so I will now do my MaryMary review. As always, this is what's on my nails. I did them Friday. Excuse me. This is MaryMary Season 3, Episode 6. Okay, this episode was hard to watch. I'm just gonna be honest. It really was, and that was pretty much the thoughts and feelings of the majority of people that I saw on Twitter and Facebook. Not just women, but men also. It was hard to watch because of Tina, but I'm gonna get into that. As always, I just pretty much go over what stood out to me. Now, to me, we open up with the christening, which, I personally am all for that. We don't necessarily have christenings because I'm from the South. We don't necessarily do christenings at my particular church, but we do a dedication. We dedicate the child back to God. And that's something that's very important to me. That's something that I feel like, parents should do because a child is a gift. So when they did the christening, I was all for that. Now, we do see that Tina does not go to the christening and Erica gets very mad. Now, Erica goes to see what's going on with Tina and tell her, I'm mad at you. And Tina is like, well, I'm sorry, but right now I just can't be around people. Teddy told me that he didn't have one affair, he had multiple affairs. Which, honestly, I don't really blame Tina for not going, because when you're going through something like that, like sometimes it's hard. Not necessarily saying you're not happy for other people, but sometimes it is hard to see other people like be so happy and you have to put on a happy front too, because this is a christening, this is a joyous occasion, but that's not how you feel. So I honestly, I understood why she didn't go. And I apologize if I look really tired. I am. I said it in my scandal video, but my body is starting to kind of wear down a little bit from working out 6 days a week, which I went to step class today. It was really, really hard. I was about to fall out because it was hot, and I really wanted to come home and just, I took a shower and I wanted to just get into bed and take a nap, but I didn't because I was like, I don't want to miss my show. So if I look tired, I'm sorry. Now, so like I said, I understand why Tina, didn't go. I understand that. Now, we do see that while Erica's home, she talks to Warren, and she's like, yeah, Tina told me that Teddy had multiple affairs. And he's like, and she like, well, why don't you look surprised? Why do you seem so shocked by this? And he's like, well, it's the man code. I'm kind of torn on that, because we as women, we have a woman's code or whatever. Because I'm just going to be honest, I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but I do have friends that I have known in the past were being cheated on. And I did not tell them because I didn't feel it was my place to tell them, if that makes sense. I didn't. And honestly, sometimes in life, if you tell somebody something, you never know how they're going to react. So, like I said, I've had people where I just didn't feel like it was my place to tell them. They weren't married, though. I've never had it where someone was actually married. I've had it where they were, like, together, like dating. So now I know my husband and I honestly tell each other everything. Now, if it's something to where I tell him and I'm like, look, this is between us, you cannot say anything. We promise each other that we're not going to say anything, and we don't. So my husband and I don't keep secrets from each other, but it's been other stuff that we have known about our, like, mutual friends that he'll tell me something and say, but baby, you can't say nothing to her, and I won't, because that's a bond between me. That's the communication between me and my husband. So I understand. Maybe Warren felt like, he said, well, if I would have told you, you just would have automatically went and told Tina. So maybe he felt like he couldn't tell her, okay, well, I'm going to tell you this, but don't say nothing. I don't know. I mean, that's how my marriage is. We can tell each other anything. And if it's something we tell each other in confidence, we keep it like that. Now, the Ebony magazine does come out. And like I said, and I think my first video, honestly, I am not Team Mitch. I'm not. I'm not really here for when Mitch be yelling at people and stuff like that. But I don't care what nobody say. And I think a lot of people agree with it. I think it was very wrong of them to tell Mitch, well, to not tell Mitch about the article for a couple of reasons. First one, I kind of thought it was a little bit hypocritical of Erica when she did the show when they were in New York. And Mitch was like, well, I'm not going to go. And she was like, oh, but you're supposed to be my friend over being my manager. And just because you're not my solo manager, pretty much how dare you not come? Okay. He still came. So you said it yourself. You wanted him there because you thought he was a friend. Now, friend or no friend, I just feel like it was unprofessional of them not to tell him. Maybe they didn't want to tell him when they actually did the article. But I feel like at least like a day before it came out or something, they should have told him so that, he would be prepared and his staff would be prepared, because pretty much he get a call from somebody, somebody on his staff, and they like, well, we done got 20 plus messages from people calling, asking about this article and asking about Teddy cheating, and we don't know what to say. We don't know nothing. We're in the dark. And that was unprofessional. I mean, honestly, there's no way to slice that. That was completely unprofessional, because they didn't know to direct everything to the publicist that, MaryMary had decided that they wanted all questions to go to. Mitch and his staff couldn't know that because they didn't know nothing about it. So, number one, like I said, you wanted him to be there for you as a friend, not as no manager or nothing like that, because you feel like y'all was friends. But now that the shoe is on the other foot, you didn't tell him this as a friend. But okay, you said, well, he ain't my friend. Okay, well, you still should have, as being professional, you still should have told him. That way, he would have been prepared. And that's just real. That's just honest. Like I said, I'm not always here for Mitch, but that's honest. Now, we do see that Erica is, Warren is like, when they go have to do the radio, which Erica tells Tina, at least do the morning show. If you're not up to doing the radio and all that stuff, that's fine. I would do that. So I was not liking the fact that she was like, oh, well, she told Warren, like, oh, she just chose, like, she didn't already have a discussion with her that she wasn't going to do the radio and stuff, which I didn't understand why the radio host kept going on and on and on about it. I was just like, sir, she's not there. Let's move it on. Warren was like, oh, well, she can't be doing that and blah, blah, blah. However, if we recall a couple of episodes ago, Erica pretty much did the same thing. She missed a very big meeting with branding people. You might as well say she missed it, because she came the last few minutes of this meeting, and Tina, covered for her and did whatever, and both Erica and Warren were okay with that. But now that it's Tina, they want to just make it seem like she's the worst thing in the world a little bit. Now, Honey, which is their mom's name, which I like her name. Honey, she's through the episode, which again, y'all, I skip around. She's giving Tina, words of encouragement, talking about the issues that she had with their dad, and she's pretty much telling her, hold on, be strong. While they're in Chicago, Erica calls her and she come. And she talks to her, and Erica is just, Erica is crying when she talks to Mitch because Mitch is mad. He like, y'all didn't tell me. She crying because she's saying, I'm so, I'm worried about my sister. Tina is crying to the mama and to Erica. And we even see her in her hotel room by herself with her Bible, and she's just crying, crying, crying. And it was very hard to watch. It really was. And like so many people said on Twitter, it almost makes it seem like you're going through it with her because it was just so raw. Like, it was so raw. It was so real to watch that. But like I said, she, pulls everything together. She does the morning show, and they do good. Which their voices are very different. I love both of their voices, but it's just something about Tina's voice that Tina got that just send a chill down your spine gospel voice. Like, it's just something about her voice. Which I do want to say congrats to Erica because they did have it on like Instagram and stuff that her solo album is #1 on the gospel charts. But I said in another video, I am kind of torn about that. I'm happy for her, but like I said, I just kind of, honestly, I get the vibe like we only in episode 6, and I've got the vibe the whole time like Warren, was really like bump MaryMary. I'm really trying to promote my wife's solo career, which I said it in another video. Now, the elephant of the room, as always, is Teddy. Okay, now, Teddy had multiple affairs. Tina at one point said when he calls Erica to check on Tina, Tina says no, he was worried about his harem. He need to call them. Which she did say in the article, if I'm not mistaken, that at one point she wanted to stab him. Or she said it later on. Which, like I said in my last video, he didn't tell her. He didn't come out and tell her. He was caught. Somebody told on him. So when somebody told on him, he owned up to it and said, yes, I had an affair. But we can get through it. And that's when she did the article. But now he's telling her, I had multiple affairs. He ain't never said nothing about no baby, but he had multiple affairs. And my whole thing was, and I put it on Twitter, I said, well, my question is, honestly, Teddy, had this person not told on you, had you not got caught, would you ever have told her, and would you ever have stopped? Like, he's pretty much saying, I love my wife, I don't want to lose my family, but a guy friend of mine, okay, and this is like the last person that you would expect to say something like this, like, he done been in relationships, he done cheated umpteen times and stuff, like we grew up together, so it's like he like a play cousin. He put on Facebook, he said, when will people learn cheating is a choice, not a mistake? And I commented and I said, you know what, you are so true. It's like, Teddy, you made a choice. You made a decision to cheat over and over and over and over and over again. Honestly, at this point, like I said in my last video, I'm still curious as to if these women would come forth and say, we are the women. They probably won't. I hope they will not. I hope they have some kind of class about themselves, because they can't tell me they didn't know he was married. I mean, come on. So I hope they will have some class and not do that. But I don't know, like, as always, I cannot judge Tina. I feel so bad for her. And I even tweeted, and I told my mama, I said, I feel so bad for her because, it's like you're going through it with her. And I said, if my husband was to ever cheat on me, like, that would break me. I would be so... And my mama stopped me. My mama was like, She said, I know he would never do that because you have a real man. And I know in my heart that my husband would never do nothing like that. But it's like just watching a person go through it. It's rough. I mean, you feel so much for her. It's rough. And I don't know. Like I said, I can't never call that woman stupid or nothing because that's her husband. That's the father of her children. But it's just like, It's at this point I wouldn't blame her if she decided not to be with him. But that's my review, y'all. Thanks for watching.